Hello viewers, I am Kausalya. Today we are going to solve problem number 5 related with H parameters. The problem is determine the H parameters for the circuit and this is the given circuit. First we start with basic equations. So it is given by V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2. I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. So now we are going to find all the four parameters. So here the parameters are H11, H12, H21 and H22. As a first step, here we are making the value of V2 as 0 and thereby this term will become 0 and this term will become 0. We can easily calculate the value of H11 and H21. So as a first step, we are short circuiting the output port. That is, this is your input voltage V1 and this is your output voltage V2. When a voltage can be made 0, it can be made 0 by short circuiting. Therefore, here we are short circuiting the terminal 2, 2 dash. So, this is our circuit diagram now. So, here we have V1, thereby I1. Here we have short circuited this 2, 2 dash, therefore V2 is 0 and here this is the current I2. So now we are going to find the value of H11. So H11 is given by the ratio V1 by I1. Now we are going to calculate V1 as well as I1 and we are going to find the value of H11. So from this circuit diagram, generally as per Ohm's law, V1 is given by I1 into Z. So how to calculate the value of impedance? So just look at this circuit diagram. So here we are short circuiting this port. So what happens? The current I1 flowing from this side, flowing from this input side, when it reaches this node, it gets divides into two. Again, this current, when it reaches this node, what happens? Here the current won't enter this 5 ohm, it will flow through this output port. Why? Because the current will always select the least resistance path. So here at this node, here there is no resistance at all, but here we have 5 ohm. Therefore, the current will flow directly through this. It will flow here and finally it will end up with here. Therefore, so what is the value of impedance of this circuit? While calculating the impedance, we are considering only this 2 ohm and 3 ohm and not this 5 ohm. Therefore, impedance is given by, here again you see the current gets divides at this node. So whenever the current gets divided, what does this mean? These two resistors are connected in parallel. Therefore, the equivalent impedance is given by R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Therefore, 2 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3. So here we get the answer as 6 by 5. Once you solve this, here we have 1.2. So what is H11? It is nothing but it is the ratio of V1 by I1. So here I have V1, here I have I1. So just when we rearrange V1 by I1, we end up with 1.2 ohm. Therefore, H11 is 1.2 ohm. Now, we are going to find H21. So, again when you look at the base equation, H21 is given by I2 by I1. So, H21 is given by I2 by I1. Again, from the same circuit, we are going to find the value of this I2 by I1 ratio. So, when you look at this modified circuit, so this is our I2. So, here we are going to use our current division rule. What is the current division rule? Total current into opposite resistance divided by total resistance. So here we need to find I2. What is the total current? Here the total current is I1. And what is the opposite resistance? Whenever you are calculating the opposite resistance, you should look at the path, that is you should look at the current direction. So here this is our I2. So what is the resistance which is opposite to I2? It is 2. And what is the total resistance? It is 2 plus 3. Therefore, I2 is given by minus I1 into 2 by 2 plus 3. So here, can you tell me why we had inserted a minus here? Because the direction of I2 and I1 are opposite to each other. So here I2 is given by minus I1 into 2 by 5. So anyway, we need the ratio of I2 by I1. So here I have I2, here I have I1. So just rearrange. So when you rearrange, I2 by I1 is given as minus 2 by 5. Once you simplify, here we end up with minus 0.4. So H21 is given as minus 0.4. Since this is the ratio between currents, there is no unit. So H21 is minus 0.4. So now we are going to find the remaining two parameters. For that, we are making the value of I1 as 0. When the current can be made 0? Whenever the path is open circuited. So here I1 is the current that flows through the input port. Therefore, here we have open circuited this path, right? So the value of I1 becomes 0. So when you again look at the base equation, so now I1 is made 0. So what will be the remaining terms? V1 is equal to H12 V2 and I2 is equal to H22 V2. So first we proceed with H22 is equal to I2 by V2. We had made I1 as 0. So now we are going to calculate the value of, you see, V2, and we are going to rearrange the ratio, and finally we are ending up with H22. So just look at this diagram. So V2 is given by I2 into Z. So here when you look at this circuit, you see I2, when it reaches this node, it gets divided into 2. Again the same current when it reaches here there is an open circuit. So the current flowing through this 3 ohm will flow through this 2 ohm. Making clear? So how to calculate the impedance? When you see the same current flows through these two resistors, what does this mean? These two resistors are connected in series and that combination comes in parallel with this 5 ohm. Am I making clear here? Because the current flowing through this 3 ohm, you see at this node here there is an open circuit. Therefore, the current flowing through this 3 ohm flows through this 2 ohm. So these two resistors are connected in series. Therefore, the impedance is given by R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So here 3 plus 2 are in series and this combination is in parallel with 5. So again 5 is parallel with 5. So the value of equivalent impedance is 5 into 5 divided by 5 plus 5. Therefore 25 by 10, which gives 2.5. So V2 is equal to I2 into 2.5. So I need the ratio of I2 by V2. So when you rearrange, I2 by V2 is 1 divided by 2.5, which means 0.4 mho because it is the ratio of current to voltage. Now the next thing is we are going to find the value of H12. So H12 is given by the ratio of V1 by V2. So now we are going to find the value of V1 as well as V2. So you see when you look at this diagram, what is V2? V2 is nothing but it is the voltage impressed across this 5 ohm resistor. So V2 is given by this 5 into the respective current that flows through this. Actually we had already framed, we have already calculated the value of V2, right? No need to go by this way. So V2 is 2.5 times of I2. So just keep it as such. V2 is equal to 2.5 I2. Now we are going to find the value of V1. So here, again we will go from this diagram. So what is V1? This V1 is nothing but it is the voltage impressed across this 2 ohm resistor. So you see V1 is given by current flowing through 2 ohm multiplied by 2. We don't know the current that flows through this 2 ohm. So we are assuming the current flowing through this 2 ohm as I2 dash. Okay, let it be I2 dash. So now we are going to calculate the value of I2 dash. So again listen carefully. You see, these two resistors are connected in series. So the current flowing through this 2 ohm is I2 dash means then obviously the current flowing through this 3 ohm is also I2 dash. So therefore, so now we are going to find this I2 dash. So I2 dash is nothing but, what is the total current here? Here the total current is I2 because here we have made this input port open circuited. Therefore, the total current is I2. So I2 dash is nothing but the total current into opposite resistance. So what is the resistance which is opposite to this I2 dash? The opposite resistance here is 5 ohm divided by total resistance. You have to sum up all these values. 2 plus 3 plus 5 which is 10. Therefore, I2 dash is equal to I2 into opposite resistance to this I2 dash is 5 divided by total resistance is 5 plus 3 plus 2. So, I2 dash is equal to I2 into 5 by 10. Since both these currents are in the same direction, we didn't introduce a minus sign. So, finally I2 dash is equal to I2 into 1 by 2. So, now we are going to find the value of V1. So what is V1? V1 is nothing but I2 dash into 2. So I2 dash is nothing but I2 into 1 by 2. Here I have simplified it as I2 into 0.5. So V1 is equal to I2 into 0.5 into 2. So finally we know V1 and we know V2. So just substitute. So H12 is nothing but V1 by V2. So when you substitute, you see I2 they get cancelled and finally we have 1 divided by 2.5 which is 0.4. So H12 is 0.4 for this problem. So finally we have calculated all the 4 different H parameters. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.